What's up, everybody? Sam Smiles here. So today I want to show you how to make the bass and the lead to Atmosphere by Fisher and Keita Alexander. Here they are together. And let me play with the drums. Cool, so very simple sound going on, a very cool groove. I think there's something unique going on with this bass and the lead together. The bass, I feel like, has a pitch bend on it, so I feel like some of these notes, instead of going up, so the key is G minor. So if we look at the bass, I've got the G minor, and I've got a pitch bend going up, because I feel like the notes go up like a semitone or like just like a half a step up, but it's really smooth, like how it sounds in the song. So it doesn't sound like exactly on the right pitch. It sounds like it's just kind of like a little out of tune. And so if you just do like automate a pitch bend, so this is the pitch bend amount is at 2 and -2. So if you do like a pitch bend amount like this, then this last note is kind of like about 2 semitones above that first note. So that's something I never really did on a bass before. I never really tried that. And then also you can hear this lead goes up like a half a step, but I think the bass actually stays the same. And it actually works because you've got the bass kind of like going up and then down and up and down and moving. So these parts are kind of like moving together. So I don't think that the bass changes. I don't think the bass actually goes up a half a step like the lead does. So let me show you the MIDI for the lead. This is the MIDI for the lead. And let me show you it with the pitch bend amount. So you can see it kind of slowly goes up and then goes down really fast at this last note. Kind of pitches down really fast. So on this bass, I just got like a kickstart 2, and then I made this in Serum. So let me show you how to, let's just remake this bass from scratch in Serum. It's got a bit of like a FM roundness to it. So I was trying to make it with like just a sine wave and some distortion, but I added on some like FM, and that gave it like this roundness that I felt like would work. So I'm going to go to the envelope first, and I want to have this like really plucky sound. The envelope 1 is modulating your amp envelope, but you can also assign it to other things. So this is now going to give it a pluckiness to it. So I'll just set it around there, and then this oscillator A, I'm going to lower this -2 octave. And then let's do a sine wave and lowering the randomness because it's a bass sine wave. So there's just like a sub. You probably won't be able to hear that yet. Oscillator B, going to turn that on and lowering this octave to -1. And then I'll also do a sub for this oscillator B, lower this randomness and lower the level, because we're just going to use the FM. Don't really need this oscillator to come through the sound, but going to go back to oscillator A, turn on this FM from B, and then now we're going to assign that envelope 1 to this FM from B. So that's going to give us that FM sound. So that kind of like roundness FM that I wanted. And then just to increase the low end a bit, I'm going to add on a MG low 24, setting this cutoff around there. Just going to increase that drive now. And then I'll just add on some hard clip distortion, adjusting this drive and the mix. Just going to EQ it a bit, taking out some of that low end, adding a bit of a mid-range boost around 500 to 600 hertz. And that's it. That's simple and effective bass. Got a bit of FM. But what makes it unique is doing that like pitch bending that I was talking about earlier. So now let's go on to how I made the lead. So the external effects I have on this lead, I have a Valhalla vintage verb. This is an ambience reverb. You can hear the difference. I like how ambience reverbs make the sound a bit wider and push it a bit back in the mix without adding like this, well, this like, it doesn't really feel like it's a reverb, like if you add it on a plate or a hall reverb. And they're used a lot for like drums because you don't want to like, if you want to have a bit of space to drums, but not add all of this like reverb to them. Then I have this erosion, noise erosion. This adds a bit of like white noise. Very small amount. And then I have the overdrive. So that's making a pretty big difference. I have the dry and wet at about 70%. And then Serum, I'd have a square wave and a saw wave, no effects on the Serum. So let's go into initializing this preset, turning the voicing on to mono because it is a lead. We're not going to be playing multiple notes together. Then I'm going to really shorten up this decay because I want it really, really plucky. Zoom that in so we can make finer adjustments, give it some release. Take down that attack. Then I'll change this oscillator A to a square wave, going to the basic shapes, square wave. Raised up that unison. Let's lower that detune. It's a bit too detuned. Raising up that level. Maybe I can go a bit shorter with that decay. Oscillator B, going to add on just like the defaults or the saw wavetable, raising up this unison 7 and this detune, lowering that a bit. And that'll just give it this like buzzy sound, and that's really it for the lead. So super simple sound, and then the pitch bend amounts, keeping those at 2 and -2 because I'm just pitch bending the MIDI up to semitones. And then after that, you just add on your overdrive, erosion. If you don't have Ableton, you can use any other overdrive in any other DAW. I'm sure that there's like some kind of erosion overdrive type of distortion. And then you can add on some other, maybe you can get some more of this noise out of another plugin. Or if you, maybe even if you just add on some noise onto Serum, maybe this will work. Let's see what this sounds like. You could even do like that just to get a bit more of that white noise drive distortion out of the sound. And I'll just play the lead one more time. And if you do just want to grab these presets for the bass and lead, I'll put links down below. And if you do want to check out any of my other Serum presets, head on over to store.samsmyers.com.